Have you ever gotten an essay back and just thought, this is fine, but why isn't it great? Well, you're definitely not alone. So in this explainer, we are going to break down the exact strategies you need to take that solid grade 5 essay and turn it into a top-tier grade 7.
Does this sound familiar? You're putting in the hours, you know your stuff, but your grades just seem to hit a wall. It's super frustrating, I get it. But the good news is, breaking through that plateau isn't about memorizing more facts. It's about making a fundamental shift in how you write.
Okay, let's put these two side by side. Look, a grade 5 essay, it ticks the boxes, right? It gets the job done. But a grade 7 essay, it completely transforms every single one of those elements. It goes from just answering to dissecting the question, from describing to truly analyzing, and from just finishing to delivering a powerful reasoned judgment. Our mission is to make that jump from the left column straight over to the right.
So what's the single biggest difference maker? Honestly, it all comes down to one core shift, moving from simple description to deep, powerful analysis. And this isn't about writing more pages, it's about thinking more deeply in every single sentence you write.
I want you to think of your essay like you're climbing a ladder. Now, most students kind of hang out on the bottom two rungs, just describing what happened and maybe giving a simple reason why. But to get to that grade 7, you've got to keep climbing, all the way up into sharp analysis and finally a decisive evaluation. Let's see what that looks like in action. So here we are, rung number 1. Description. This is just a pure statement of fact. It's not wrong, not at all, but it's just telling me what happened. It's the foundation, but we can't build a grade 7 essay if we stay here.
Okay, now we've taken a step up to explanation. See that? We've added a because, which is a really great start. We're now giving the reason behind the action. This is the move that gets you into that solid grade 5 or 6 territory.
And boom, here's the massive leap into analysis. We're not just explaining why anymore. Notice the language here, bringing in a Keynesian approach adds that crucial theoretical context, while that magic word, however, introduces nuance and a critical eye. This right here is the engine room of a grade 7 essay.
And here we are at the very top of the ladder, evaluation. This is where you make a big, definitive judgment. You're connecting this one policy to a much broader debate, showing you get the larger implications. This is how you lock in that top grade.
So, how do you actually build these super analytical paragraphs? Well, the tool you need is probably one you already know. The good old Peel framework. We're just going to give it a serious upgrade.
Let's start with your point. A grade 5 point is just a statement, like World War I had many causes. A grade 7 point is a sharp, arguable claim. The alliance system was the most significant cause. See the difference? You've instantly created an argument you have to prove, not just a topic to talk about.
Next up, evidence. Many countries were involved is way too vague. A grade 7 essay demands precision. Name the specific treaty, the Triple Entente of 1907. Name the specific players. That kind of specificity is what gives your argument real backbone.
Now, this is probably the most important step of all, explanation. Think of it like building a bridge. You can't just drop your evidence on one side of the river and your main point on the other. You have to explain how and why that specific piece of evidence actually proves your point. This is where the magic of analysis really happens. And finally, the link. A good essay always links back to the main question, but a great essay does that and then it adds a counter. Don't ever be afraid to acknowledge another point of view. It doesn't weaken your argument. Believe me, it makes it stronger. It shows you're a sophisticated thinker who can see the whole picture, and it makes your own conclusion that much more convincing.
All right, we have totally nailed the perfect paragraph. Now, let's zoom out and build the perfect essay. We're going to focus on the two most critical parts, your introduction and your conclusion. This is where you make your first impression and your lasting impact.
A killer introduction follows a really simple but powerful 3-part formula. First, quickly define any key terms to show you get the question. Second, set the scope so the examiner knows exactly what you'll be focusing on. And third, this is the knockout punch, state your sharp, specific thesis that's going to drive the entire essay.
Just look at this example. It's beautiful. It doesn't just answer the question, it takes a really nuanced position, a significant factor but not the primary cause. This immediately tells the person reading it your exact line of argument. This kind of clarity signals a top-tier essay from the very first paragraph.
And now for the grand finale, the conclusion.
A grade 5 conclusion, let's be honest, often just restates what's already been said. It's basically a summary. But a grade 7 conclusion? That's your final, decisive judgment. It brings all your points together, it weighs the different factors against each other, and it tells the reader exactly why your argument is the most compelling one.
Okay, we've got the theory, we've got the tools. Let's wrap this up with a practical game plan for how to pull all this off when you're under the pressure of an exam. This time breakdown is your key to success, but I want you to look very closely at that first step, 5 minutes of planning. Let me be clear, this is non-negotiable. Skipping the plan to get more writing time is the single biggest mistake students make. A good plan will lead to a focused, coherent, and way higher scoring essay every single time.
To finish up, you want 5 things you can do in your very next essay to see a difference? Here they are. 1. Start every paragraph with an arguable claim, not a boring fact. 2. Use analytical phrases like "this suggests" or "this reveals." 3. Keep linking back to the question. 4. Quality over quantity. 3 killer paragraphs will always beat 6 shallow ones. And 5, if you can, name a relevant historian or theorist. It shows you're part of the wider academic conversation.
So, there you have it. That's the roadmap from a 5 to a 7. And it really isn't about memorizing more dates or names, it's about shifting your entire mindset. The question you need to ask yourself as you write your next essay is this: am I just summarizing what happened, or am I building a powerful, evidence-based argument? The choice is yours.